Diodotus II, king of Bactria. 230 to 220 BC. Diodotus II, the king of Bactria, died c. 230 BC. References: Bede, Rapson, C.H.I, P1-2-13, Dr. A.K. Narain, Indo-Greeks, P.L.3. Dr. M.V.D. Mohan, Indo-Greek Cons, P.181, P1.I.2. Obv.1 In. Dotted circle, head of Diodotus II, died, as on number 1 above. Rev. Zeus striding 1, hurling thunderbolt, aegis on one arm, wreath underneath it. Diodotus II was the son and successor of Diodotus I, who had rebelled against Seleucid Empire and had established his own Graeco Bactrian empire. He ruled along with his father, before succeeding to as the sole king of the empire during the period 235 to 240 BC. He gave tough resistance to Seleucid, who was aggressively trying to bring Bactria back into his empire by allying with the Parthians against them. Diodotus I was murdered around 230 BC by Euthydemus I, who succeeded him as king. Diodotus I had earlier ruled the region of Bactria as a governor sometime in 260 BC and gradually became independent during the reign of the Seleucid king Antiochus II. Coinage minted under Diodotus I derives from two separate mints. The coinage of one mint features a mature man on the obverse, generally identified as Diodotus I, while the obverse of coinage produced at the other mint depicts a similar, but a younger, figure. According to many historians, Diodotus II controlled the western region, which was exposed to raids from Parthia and had his base at Bactria. During his reign, the king, Diodotus I, had expelled the Perni king Arsaces from Bactria. Arsaces had gone on to seize the region of Parthia from the Seleucids and carved out his own kingdom. Diodotus I remained opposed to the Perni and thus aligned with the Seleucids. Consequent to the death of Diodotus, Arsaces allied with his son Diodotus II and fought against Seleucus, who had come to punish the rebels. But he gave stiff resistance and defeated his forces. The Parthians celebrated the day as the beginning of their independence. The battle between Seleucus II and Arsaces took place during 228 BC. It is unclear whether Diodotus was actively involved in the battle or simply agreed to remain neutral, thereby leaving Arsaces free to bring all his forces to bear on the invading Seleucid army. Sometimes after this, around 230 BC, Diodotus was killed by Euthydemus I, who usurped the throne and founded the Euthydemed dynasty. Diodotus I had married second time with the princes of Seleucid. He had a daughter who was married to Euthydemus. Archaeological evidences reveals that the city of Ai was besieged around 225 BC. It appears that there this period witnessed a civil war, leading to victory of Euthydemus and reconstruction of the city. Diodotus II largely continued the minting patterns laid down by his father. There were two mints, which issued gold, silver and bronze coins. These coins have the head of a male figure on the obverse shown wearing the diadem, a band of cloth wrapped around the head, with two strips hanging down the back, which had been the standard symbol of Hellenistic kingship since the time of Alexander the Great. The reverse of these coins depicted Zeus preparing to throw his thunderbolt. For the majority of his reign, Diodotus II issued coinage on a relatively modest scale. Towards the end of his reign, he began to mint on a much larger scale, with greater quantities of gold coinage than previously. This was accompanied by the production of an issue at the secondary mint, depicting the older figure of Diodotus I once more, but in a more idealized fashion. Diodotus II also issued a bronze coinage. Initially, this coinage bore the same obverse design as that of Diodotus I, head of Hermes wearing a Pegasus hat. However, the reverse design is new, a depiction of Athena resting on her spear.